Not everything that you do not like is necessarily manipulation. Not everything that is narcissistic is inherently bad for you. Not all psychopaths are those who don't feel sorry for you, who don't empathize with you. But there are certain common traits among people who are prone to manipulation, manipulative behavior, including destructive manipulation, including psychological violence. These are people who think that creating shame, guilt, and dependency is a normal way to build relationships with others. For whom violating personal boundaries, devaluing, and, for example, emotional roller coasters are normal, ordinary communication techniques. How can you tell, based on what signs, based on what personal qualities, if a person is prone to manipulation in the early stages? This is what's called Machiavellianism. It's the tendency and desire to manipulate other people. First, this is constant provocation and violation of personal boundaries. This person tries to violate personal boundaries under any pretext and watches how you react to it. They can come up with some ridiculously endearing nicknames or funny derogatory nicknames. They can get too close, touch clothing, touch, for example, the hand, and so on, to joke, compare, belittle, laugh, insult, and see your reaction. If you can put up with it, if you can swallow it, if you can eat all of this, then you're good to go. The next provocation is going to be even tougher. But if you react, if you fight back, he can always raise his paws and say, "Oh, I was just kidding, forgive me, please, I didn't mean it." Or maybe, for instance, use it to embarrass you more. "Oh, I'm crazy about you, babe, I'm totally smitten with you, I'm head over heels in love." Why are you so crazy? Why are you so crazy?
Why are you so crazy? Why are you so angry?
Why don't you understand jokes? Second, people prone to manipulation are usually colder and more closed off. They do not share anything sacred. They do not share their experiences. They do not tell you anything personal that could potentially be used against them or put them in a bad light. For people like that, openness, honesty, and emotional expression are seen as signs of weakness. So you're a victim, they'll devour you. The logic is either you're the hunter or you're the prey, even when talking about relationships. That's why people like that usually have reduced empathy, even to the point of heartlessness and cruelty. Thirdly, it's all about hypocrisy and double standards. So like this person, let's say, can tell you something about how valuable and important it is to be close, to support each other, how to be kind to others. And right then, let's say in front of you, he can be rude to another person, call them names or humiliate them, show cruelty. Or, for instance, behind someone's back, this individual can say truly negative things about someone, trash talk them, but when they meet in person, they display good intentions, love, hugs, and so forth. Well, naturally, you cannot expect him to meet the identical standards he expects from others. You cannot anticipate from him what he consistently demands from others. The arrow does not turn in the opposite direction. He will become extremely angry and furious if you treat him in the same manner that he treats you. That's not it, you don't understand, it's something else. The fourth one is about impacting emotions, the emotional sphere, or even stirring up emotions. We need to make you emotional, so you think worse, so you are more predictable, so it is easier to control you. To do this, you just need to touch on some emotional topics, hit on values, needs, pain, fears, traumas, transfers, and so on. Or simply and directly hit the emotional triggers. It is about justice, security, money, sex, respect, and other similar aspects that deeply resonate with people's core desires and needs. The fifth one is mainly about individuals with a big ego and a sense of importance. Most of these individuals grew up in dysfunctional families, where their relationship with their parents lacked emotional closeness, love, and support, but instead revolved around manipulations involving devaluation, criticism, and dependency. People like this grow up less confident, less resilient, and more vulnerable to comparison, criticism, devaluation, rejection, and so on. Usually these kind of people are more grudge-holding and vengeful. And the sixth sign is when it's bad when it's good, and it's good when it's bad. These individuals struggle when you're present, experiencing self-doubt, lacking contentment, happiness, and love, while everything seems fine in your presence. These individuals cannot tolerate being in the presence of individuals who are happier, more confident, and more successful than they are. So they sneakily start poisoning, biting, devaluing, extinguishing, suppressing. If you manage to break through, devalue, if your mood dropped, spoiled, then magic starts happening. They just bloom. They just fill with energy. They start smiling. They become happy, as if they've had their fill of you. They definitely have to bring you down to their level, or even lower, in order to feel good about themselves. If you frequently observe the majority of these signs, these manifestations in another individual, then you should contemplate why you require it. You can't change another person anyway, but in such relationships with such people, it's important to be able to track manipulative techniques, maintain stability, and know how to respond correctly.